Are you working really hard with your print-on-demand business? Or are you working really smartly with your print-on-demand business? It's very easy to distract yourself with busy work, and that kind of makes it feel like you're doing something, you're being useful, when in actuality, you're wasting a load of time. An example for you is batch doing things. So at the beginning, when we have to create, 100 designs to get our store started, you're also going to have to create all of those mock-ups. You're going to have to do all of that research. And there are ways to do it that are smart, and there are ways to do it where it feels like you're working, but actually you're just going really slowly. So let's start with the first one. Designs. When it comes to making designs, most people I have come across will research one design, make one design, make the mock-up for one design, upload it to Printify, sync it with Shopify, and tick that box. One design has now been done. That feels like you're doing a lot of work because you're constantly doing stuff, but that's actually the worst way to do designs. Let me tell you the best way to do designs. And okay, this is obviously an opinion, so you don't have to agree with me, but arguably, let me tell you what the best way is. You start with a research session, right? That can maybe go on for an hour, where you research a whole bunch of design ideas. You build out a mood board of that research. We use Figma. That's what we teach in the community. It's what everyone uses in the community. And basically, that is a series of screenshots and copy and paste of ChatGPT data of various different design ideas. So after that hour of research where we've really dug deep into the customer, into our buyer, into exactly what they want to be wearing, we then move on to phase two. Phase two would be batch creating all of those designs, whether we're using AI, whether we're buying them on Etsy or another website, whether we're manually drawing them ourselves, that's okay. But you want to do them all in one go, right? You've now batched on the research, you've batch created the designs. Now it's time to batch edit those designs. And if those designs need a background remover, they need a vectorizer, they need upscaling, anything, right? You want to be able to do that in batch. Currently, the best tool for this is My Designs, although I'm working on my own that you will be able to access so that you don't have to pay a huge amount of money. As of now, My Designs is a very good tool where you can drop in, hundreds of different designs and batch do things, batch vectorize them, batch remove the background. Once you've done all of that, you obviously download all those designs. Great. The next thing you need to do is batch mockup create. Now, there's loads of tools like Mockup Maestro is a good one and other tools, but you could also just use Codex with ChatGPT and build out your own tool through Codex. And it's just very powerful. But what you then want to do is you want to obviously create all of those mockups, because you're going to have, let's say, 100 designs, 10 colors, that's 1,000 mockups. That's a long time, and you could spend weeks doing that, and it's going to feel like you're doing such hard work. Like, I'm working all day, every day, I'm working so hard. But actually, no, you're just working in a really dumb way, because it's just silly work. You can have it completely automated. So you want to have those mockups being created automatically for you, whether or not it takes a week for those mockups to be created. As long as you're not manually doing it yourself, that is how you would work smart. Then obviously you want to upload all those designs to Printify and sync them over to Shopify. Now you can also do this one by one, or you can use some sort of bulk mockup uploader, another tool that we are trying to work on at the moment that we are going to make for our community members. We're building a whole load of software for our community members, and that is just another one of them. So that is how you would work really smart, by working in batches and doing it in batches. Because again, if you work on an individual level, it will feel like you're doing lots of good work, but actually you're not. And I'm going to give you another example, emails. So with this business model, print on demand, Shopify, Facebook ads, one of our greatest strengths is being able to build an email list, because obviously with Etsy, with Redbubble, with Amazon, we can't really do that. But that is a humongous benefit to this business, because that is where the real profit is made, because you're not spending money on ads anymore. Your profit margins are massive, and all you have to do is send out a couple of emails. So emails take a really long time to make, a really long time to make. So what you want to start by doing is building assets for your emails. The same way we spent, an hour or so before we started designing, just doing the research, we want to spend however many hours building out our own asset library, you could call it, for emails. That is where we gather a whole load of realistic mock-up photos of people. We can use Nano Banana, we can use ChatGPT, where we create a whole load of models, and we have in our library, 50 different models of different ages, different genders, different races, all sorts of different things that we can drag and drop into emails. We then want to create like sections, email sections. So a lot of our emails will have similar things in them. They'll have, our best-selling designs. They'll have the top 5 things that make our designs better, the quality, call to action buttons, all these sorts of things. We don't want to have to go through and create from scratch an email every single time we want to send out a campaign. So what we do is we just drag and drop from our library of, mockups, our library of sections, our library of call to actions. We have all of this inside of Figma, which I speak about inside the community as well. But we have all of this inside of Figma. And when it comes to making the email, I just drag and drop. And of course, sometimes I want the email to be unique. It's different. So I'll go in and spend like 10 minutes just making it unique, changing the wording, maybe changing the call to action. But the buttons and the layout and everything is there. All I'm really doing is dragging and dropping. That is a smart way to be doing emails because it allows you to do them in batch. It allows you to do them significantly faster than forever just doing one thing at a time. So with every single task that you do, I want you to think about, am I doing this smartly or am I just working really hard? Because if you can combine the two, if you can work really hard and really smartly, you are going to go so unbelievably far with this business. But if you're working hard is just busy work, just making mock-up after mock-up after mock-up, then it's going to just take you forever to get anywhere, right? But if you're working smartly and hard and you're batch making all these different things and everything's happening around you whilst you're doing ad creatives and this, that, and research and whatever, you're going to go so far. So stop working really, really, really hard and start working really, really smart and combine it with working really hard. If you're trying to build a print-on-demand brand on Shopify, but you're stuck guessing what to do next, this is exactly why I built DailySeller. Inside the community, we help you go from random designs and inconsistent sales to a proper system for building, testing, and scaling your business. You get structured training, 4 live calls a week, resources and software, personal help, accountability, and a community of sellers all working towards the same goal, getting consistent daily sales. I'm personally inside DailySeller every single day, helping members with their designs, with their ads, with their stores, with their products, every single step so that they're not trying to figure it out on their own. So if you actually want to build a print-on-demand brand that can get you to $10,000 a month and beyond, click the link down below and check out DailySeller.